Hey guys, how's it going? So today I'm going to do more fundamental stuff. Most of you probably know this already, but I wanted to make a short video on how to get into a router or switch, whether it's Cisco or HP, from a Windows computer. Really applies to any type of OS, but we'll get right to it. So I've got here a Cisco 1841 router. So as you can see, he's powered on. It's just a standard three-prong plug. He's got a little power switch on him right here. So if I flip that power switch on and off, that's going to turn him on and off. These are they're called WICs, WAN interface cards. HWICs are high-speed WAN interface cards. But anyway, you can replace the cards by doing by physically removing the card. Anyway, here is a down here. I wish I had a bigger camera for you guys, but that's okay. This is a Cisco SD card, basically. It's a compact flash card. It's 64 megs. Basically, that's what holds the non-volatile memory. So the memory that isn't going anywhere, you want to keep it on there. Things like, I don't know, VLAN, databases, stuff like that. And your running config is going to come off of that. This is where the OS is stored. The Cisco iOS is stored on this compact flash. So when this thing boots, it does a post check or whatever, and then it finds compact flash. Okay, that's got an OS on it that I can boot to, and it moves that into its physical RAM in the box. So two WIC cards. These are both T1 DSU CSUs. So these, if you're going to use them, these would be used with like a crossover cable, and you have to use a clock rate. So that's we'll get into that later. Here, as you can see, there is a console, an aux. That's for a auxiliary port. Console is for the Cisco console port, and then we have fast Ethernet 0/1, fast Ethernet 0/0. We have their link lights right here. There's a USB for a flash drive. These are 1841s. These are, let's see when the manufacturer is on this, because I know they're old, but anyway, you can get these for like 20 bucks on eBay. And same here. I have a Cisco 2950 switch. This is a 24-port switch. This one is old as well, but same rules apply. It has some weird kind of 12-pin power here, but it's also got the three-prong standard plug that you would use for any computer. We got a fan and a console port. The rest is switch ports. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys how, for the new users, how to connect to your switch. So I got my router. What do I do now? First you're going to need obviously a power plug. And you're going to need power. You're going to need a computer. Then you're going to need this special cable that Cisco makes. It's called a rollover cable. So it's got that. It's a certain kind of wiring here. This is not just a standard Cat5. It's not a crossover either. It's a certain kind of wiring that basically connects over to this serial type, a DB9, right there. So this on one end, that on the switch end, this on the computer end. The thing is, most computers nowadays do not come with 9-pin serial. If you have it, cool, kudos. But if not, then you get a TrendNet DB9 to USB adapter. Okay? You attach the two together. One's a male, well, the rollover cable should have a male end, and the adapter has a female end. The female end to the USB, standard USB. I usually plug them into USB 2.0 ports, but I mean, you can plug them into 3.0, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to plug them to my PC down here, right? Okay, now likely what will happen is the computer will not recognize it. If you need drivers, the adapter comes with a DVD that contains the proper drivers. You can also get them online. My cigarette went out. But you want the drivers to be able to talk to that adapter. Now, after you have the drivers, well, you could try this before you even have the driver. You want to go to your device manager. In your device manager, you want to pull up ports, COM ports. COM ports. Okay, so I have a prolific USB to serial COM port in COM3. That sounds right to me. It's a USB to serial COM port. I don't know what that is, but anyway, you'll be looking for that. The reason you want to find that is you want this COM3 right here. So I'll circle that. You want COM3. So now that I got the COM3 there, that's all I need for my device manager, as long as you have your drivers. Then you go to putty.org. P is in Paul, U is in uniform, T is in tango, T is in tango, Y as in yellow. .org. And when you go to that website, you can download Putty. Putty is the standard that kind of everybody uses. I mean, some people use Hyperterminal. That's another one. There's also Eggshell, which I'm becoming more fond of. But anyway, you download Putty, you install it. It's a very small file, very simple program, but it's very effective. So I'm going to open Putty here. Okay? And at first you're like, wait a minute. But, okay, what type of connection am I doing? Raw, Telnet, remote login, SSH, or serial? Serial. Seems reasonable. So it automatically has set the baud rate for me, which is 9600, when talking to these switches through their serial port. There's also this serial option up here. That's in the session, okay? So, again, COM3. I know that that's where my USB port is plugged in at. Logging. Do I want to log on my output? Now, this is sometimes you don't need to. If you're just testing or messing around, a lot of times I would. I always have this thing set to all session output. You can omit known password fields or session data. I'm going to leave that on the default. You can either always overwrite the file, or you can always append the end of it. So that means it's going to keep saving different logs each time you open a session with anything. Basically, it is a terminal. Well, it's a terminal to help you talk to your router or switch through its command prompt, through its OS. This is crucial when first setting up a switch. After that, you can set it up for Telnet or SSH, and we'll get to that after this. But anyway, there's that logging. That's a big one. Terminal, all this stuff, not really. This is all preference. Connection, serial. Okay, I know my speed. My baud is 9600 by default. Data bits 8. Sounds good to me. Stop bits 1. Sounds good to me. No parity. X on, X off for flow control. And you can choose where you want to save your Putty log right there. So after that, I'm going to make sure, okay, everything's right. Now I'm not going to open it yet because it probably won't work. Now you want to make sure that your router or switch powered on. So I'm powered on, but my console cable is not connected to the console port. So I'm going to take the console cable, plug it into the console port, and then I'm going to hit open, and it's going to open this little box, right? Sorry. Com3 in Putty. Okay. So now it's asking me for a username, which I believe admin. Yeah. Pretty standard stuff, admin and password. Okay, so now I am in the enable mode. So from here, I guess I've got a few minutes left, so I'll show you how to do the initial setup of a router. So first, you're not going to see a username and password. You might see you'll see a prompt saying, "Do you want to set up the initial blah blah blah?" Typically, nobody really does that. You kind of do it on your own. So now I'm in this enable mode. I'm going to go to privilege enable mode by typing N, and there's another password. So you have to type that in. Now this would be different if it wasn't a pre-configured router. N stands for enable. Cisco reads the first two letters and it assumes from there, unless there are other characters with the first two characters that you're trying to use. So here I am now in privileged user mode. The first one is user mode, second is privileged user mode, sorry about that. And the highest one, configure terminal, and what also works is config, or, well, I need to turn that logging on. Conf T, configure terminal, same thing. So typically what people do first for initial configuration is they change the host name of the router. So I want to change the host name to R1. All I did was host name R1. Let's see our other host name options by typing in host name and then a question mark. Okay, so there's nothing more to that. Next, what people do is they will set a enable password. Okay, and basically from here you can hide it or non-hide it by going 0 or 7. Otherwise, you just hit password. The enable is the same as your enable secret. Okay, so enable secret instead of password. The difference between password and secret is the output when you do a show run or show tech is going to be encrypted. It will not show as clear text, it will be ciphertext. So enable secret, password. Boom. Okay, so let's pretend the error didn't pop up and we're fine. Fine and dandy. So another thing is the time. Time can be set in privileged user mode. So I'm going to go down here and go time. What is it? Clock. Sorry. Clock set. And then I'm going to go current time. So whatever time it is, you do that. Blah, blah. Well, blah, blah. Blah, blah. Blah, blah. And then I'm going to do another question mark. Wait, hour, minute, second. Okay, so hour, 12, minute, 57, second, 22. Another question mark. Okay, what is the day of the month? The 9th. And what is the month? So the month is going to be September, or you can use sept. What year is it? So these only go up to year 2035. That's when the world will end, apparently. I don't know, I'm just kidding. But 2017, boom, now the clock is set. Show run. Now I have